It was a really great evening around Memphis to go do some scenic flying. And en route, I decided to go grab something to eat. And that's what I had this fun little exchange with the center controller.
I mean, it's still in the green.
Number 12994, Memphis.
994, go ahead.
I just give you a heads up, the Sikeston airport's actually closed. The 2 and 20 is closed, and all the taxiways are closed there at Sikeston.
So here's how this whole situation developed. I flew to Memphis with the intention of meeting up with a buddy of mine, and we were going to go flying around together. He wound up not being available, so I decided to just go do some sightseeing on my own. After I took off and got out of the Memphis airspace, I realized how close to Sikeston, Missouri I was, where there's a Lambert's Cafe, and decided that I was going to fly there for dinner. That's when I found out the airport was closed.
So let's go ahead and fast forward to the interesting part of this flight. For starters, I knew how much fuel I had on board, and I definitely had enough to make it from Memphis to Sikeston. And at the time that I decided to turn around, I still had enough fuel to make it back to Memphis, but I decided I wanted to stop and get fuel just in case I did any more flying around casually, so I would have enough reserves. So that's where I really started looking for a place to go, and as it turns out, that was a lot more difficult than I had planned.
I mean, it's still in the green.
Number 12994, Memphis.
994, go ahead.
I just give you a heads up, the Sikeston airport's actually closed. The 2 and 20 is closed, and all the taxiways are closed there at Sikeston.
Alright, we'll look for something else, 994. Oh,
This is 17 Papa, we're leveled off at 9,500 feet. We're 17 Papa rising, maintain VFR, the McKellar altimeter 2988.
Well, now what am I going to do?
2988, maintain VFR 17 Papa.
I didn't plan on it not being there anymore. I feel dumb, they're not checking the NOTAMS beforehand. Where was that other Lambert's at? Ozark? I have no way to get there. I mean, just go back over there, dude. Say screw it.
Number 12994, Memphis.
Yeah, 994, go ahead.
Yeah, what's your plan now that Sikeston's closed?
I think we're going to do Mississippi County, Charlie Hotel, Quebec.
Charlie Hotel, Quebec, roger, I'll show it.
So Mississippi County became my option. It was 10 miles away from Sikeston, a quick cab or Uber ride into town, I could still eat, no big deal. Until I looked it up on 4Flight and realized they have no fuel available at that airport.
fly until the sun goes down is what I'm going to do.
3617 Papa, contact Memphis Center 124.35.
Contact Memphis Center on 124.35, 17 Papa. Thanks for your... The one thing I did not check was NOTAMS. I feel dumb. Well, that'll be a lesson to you, kids. Check the NOTAMs.
Number 12994, change to my frequency 133.65.
13365, 994. This is out in the middle of nowhere, dude. And I am definitely going to need to get fuel there, I mean, regardless. No fuel, son of a bitch, dude. I'm not going to hunt around for fuel all night. Because I'm going to have to get fuel. I'm not going to make it back to Memphis if I don't stop somewhere. Dude, I don't want to be having to hop around trying to find gas now. That's like going to suck.
Eval 41, maintain VFR, clear dial left, approach runway 2 at McKellar.
I should just turn back. I mean, there's no fuel here. Just go back to Blytheville, dude.
So this was my relative position at this point in this trip, cruising along the Mississippi River Basin. Blytheville was the largest airport in relative position to me. I felt pretty secure that if I went there, I wouldn't have any issues. However, once again, this airport only provides jet fuel and does not have any avgas available.
27 miles away from it. And Memphis 12994.
Number 12994, go.
Yeah, we're going to turn back and go to Bravo Yankee Hotel instead.
For 12994, roger, and I'll show Bible.
To be candid, at this point, I had less than my personal minimums on board the aircraft for fuel. When I made this turn, I could have made it back direct to Memphis and still had half an hour of fuel on board. But I wanted that extra reserve just to feel comfortable. I don't like being in a position where I start getting desperate for fuel had I started getting a significant amount of vectors once I got back in the Class B airspace.
Damn it, they don't have a f***ing low light. Dude, that's all I'm going to be doing is chase f***ing fuel around.
$36.95 Mike, go ahead.
I can see they don't have any. There's no tank. And Center 12994 got Blytheville in sight.
Order 4 Foxtrot Echo, contact Milk approach 125.8.
125.8 for 4 Fox check, okay.
Number 994, roger, negative check, observed between you and the airport. Radar service terminated, squawk VFR, have a good day.
Appreciate all the help, 994.
Once I canceled flight following and knew I wasn't going to be able to go into Blytheville for fuel, I found Kennett Memorial, which was about 16 miles northwest of Blytheville and actually closer to me en route. So that's where I wound up stopping. So I had a whole plan to go to Sikeston, Missouri, have dinner, and the airport's closed. So started trying to find somewhere that I could just stop and get some gas. And there's nowhere in Missouri apparently to do that. So here I am in, I don't know where in Arkansas, but they got a self-serve pump, so I'm gonna pump myself some gas. See if I still got it. I can't be completely disappointed with the decisions I made on this flight. While yes, I made a big mistake in not checking NOTAMs prior to deciding to fly to Sikeston, and maybe I was a little bit overconfident that there was plenty of airports between Memphis and Sikeston, I would have no problem finding somewhere to stop. When things got questionable, I turned around before it really got too late, and I think that was the right choice. On the way back to Memphis, I really started thinking about how differently this flight could have gone. Back in my early days of flying, all I would have had on board was a sectional, and if I was lucky enough to have an airport facilities directory, which might be in my flight bag at the back of the airplane that I wouldn't have access to, that was the only way I'd find information about these airports. Having floor flight right at my fingertips and able to look up things about airports before I started bouncing in and out of patterns and wasting even more fuel is a pretty valuable tool. Not to mention the importance of being on flight following. Had I not been on flight following, it's entirely possible I wouldn't have known that airport was closed until I actually was on final in Sikeston. And then I would have been in a very desperate situation. So for all the things I did wrong here, I at least have to admit there were some things that I did right. At the end of the day, I got to have an enjoyable flight, enjoy some of the scenery, fly into the sunset, and get back to Memphis safe, sound, and unharmed. And I think I learned some valuable lessons out of this. Truth be told, I was even hesitant to share this story, but I thought that the lessons learned were valuable and worth sharing for those who were interested in flying. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like it, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out this week's linked video from Mile High Firebird. Seth and I crossed paths literally while flying to Talladega, and we've been communicating ever since. So check out his channel and subscribe to it. It's pretty good stuff.